العالمين الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين والبيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين أما بعد قال الله سبحانه وكتابه المبين وأوزع الصلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
I think I'll continue talking in English because Hussein is here, Abu Hassan is here, so we have to continue talking, and especially for our children, which is also a problem. The barrier is language, inshallah. Problem with the language is that Imam Hussein's message, I always believe that should be spread in all languages, and of course those who have made decisions to take part different parts of the world and adopted different cultures. So you are in contact with people who don't speak your language, so you should be able to convey the message of Imam Hussein convincingly with your friends, with your colleagues, with your working colleagues. That will create a lot of, I suppose, easiness in yourself, and because Imam Hussein's message is just not remain within yourself and your family. It always is good that you have that message since the birth, since the family of Ahlul Bayt or the family of Shia you come from. But when you start dealing with the world out there, which is bigger world than the small world of your own family, it becomes a challenge. It really becomes a challenge to explain who Imam Hussein was and why he took that big step that has created so much. And still, it remained part of the Shia life. It does not cross over to the different areas. We talk to non-Muslims particularly. Those who have heard of Imam Hussein by looking at television pictures, they would know, but by and large, people are ignorant about the Imam Hussein's worth. People are ignorant about his sacrifice, the detail which we talk about, the musibah, the difficulty he has gone through in his lifetime, up to the point that he has sacrificed everything what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed on him. In order to understand Imam Hussein, you have to rewind the tape and go back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam have not paid importance to Imam Hussein ever since he was born, then you would not pay attention to the work of Imam Hussein that happened after that. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has his own unique position in Islam, and how Islam came through previous prophets. If you look at the history of previous prophets had message, Allah's message. Khatam al-Nabiyeen, the final message. Rasulullah was the seal and complete seal in such a way that message came. However, wherever he was moving, the message was moving with him. And this is the history. Rasulullah's message was not restricted to a place. He was in Makkah, the message came to Makkah. He was in Medina, the message came to Medina. And all those stages of his movement, he moves around, a message followed him. Kitab followed him, the book followed him. And this is the beauty of Islam. That phenomena you will not find in other prophets. Moses alayhi salam, if you look at the Adam alayhi salam, this unique importance for Rasulullah's message is saying that this is the final message. And when a person understands this message, propagates this message, explains this message to people, and some people believe, some people reject. as it happens, if you have that information in news and you tell the news to somebody, you say, come on, go on, I don't believe what you're talking about. This is rubbish. People will reject it straight away. The information which you have heard from somewhere, from a radio, from a newspaper, from television, you said, I've heard that news, I have that information, but I believe in this information. I'm telling you, the two types of people. A, people who will believe that. He said yes, because he was the most honest individual. So people start believing in him because of his character. And those who rejected him, rejected his message, and therefore the problem starts. And these are the most important thing for the personality of Rasulullah, that how personality of Rasulullah actually developed as the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came to mankind. And then he had to do the job. He had responsibility. Up until the 40 years, we talked about it in Arba'in Majlis, the importance of 40 years. The 40 years he was a normal person, living a normal life. After that, something happened to him. And this is the power of any message which can come to a human being at any stage. That your mind changes, your thinking changes, your behavior changes. Up until now, if a message comes to somebody that you must get up in the morning to pray. Up until now, 30 years, 32 years, he was sleeping in the morning. Just because of laziness, a message came that, look, I must pay attention to get up in the morning, to pay attention to Salat Subh. The message came in your mind, and you start paying attention to that message. This is the power of message, which can come to human being at any time of their lives. And then, if you believe in that it is an important message, then obviously that message will continue, and you start believing and behaving according to that message. In the case of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will find that a number of things happened. During when he changes his thinking, he comes home, he talks about that I'm receiving these messages. Not many people believe it. His family believes it. And that's why we pay attention to his family and the details of his family's members, those who gone through his stages of trouble, of caring for that message. Because that message is an extremely important message. The message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was not an ordinary message. It changes human beings' life, it changes human beings' thinking. The most important point which I like to talk about it here is today how we relate that message with our lives. Our mind and our daily life have got a pace. We get up in the morning, we pray or we don't pray. If we have time, we pray. If we don't have time, we don't pray. We go to work, we go to school, we go to college. How we struggle to live a life the way Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wanted a Muslim to live a life. And then the way a life should be led who are the follower of Ahlul Bayt al-Rasul. Different life. Their lives are different from people who are not the follower of Ahlul Bayt. Not the follower of Islam. People who are not the follower of Islam live a different type of life. And we can easily get influenced with that type of life. And therefore we have a responsibility and duty to care for the message which we have tried to understand, read, struggle to read, struggle to understand through Quran, through Hadith, through all those things, internet. We try to struggle to get that message. And then live by that message is the most difficult thing. Because it's easy to read, alhamdulillah, everybody can read and write. Reading and understanding is one thing, but living with that message is a very difficult thing, and that is the most powerful jihad what you can do with yourself. Every day, every month, every week you struggle. There comes the time in your life when you will reach to the point that becomes a norm. That becomes the normal life. I'll give you